So the big question is, how do ambitious people like us, who grew up listening to the old advice of go to school, work hard for 40 years, and retire when you're old, create a life today that is meaningful, abundant, healthy, and brings joy, while also leading a life that is productive and full of achievement? That is the question, and this is the podcast that will help give you the answers that you're searching for. My name is Del Denny, and welcome to the Upgrade Your Life podcast. Welcome to another edition of Full Potential Friday. It's crazy out there, isn't it? This whole coronavirus stuff. But anyways, this is a good chance to sharpen us all. There's all kinds of different perspectives that we could look at as we're all being quarantined and self-distancing and all that stuff. And this is a really great opportunity to take a gamble on yourself, to really start resetting things and really aligning some priorities. And so as we start taking this chance to sharpen the salt and maybe try something new, I wanted to share a quote with you, and it's one of my favorite quotes. It's called Man in the Arena. And this is by Theodore Roosevelt, who led an amazing life for sure. And after his presidency, he kind of went on this little speaking tour around Europe and around the world, and he was in France, and he gave this awesome lecture, and there's a famous quote that came from it, and I want to read this to you because I think about it often as we try something new. And so it goes like this. This is by Theodore Roosevelt. He says, "It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows the end, the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat." And I absolutely love that quote. I think about it quite a bit. Oftentimes I've put myself out there, and I've failed many times. Absolutely. You look at other people that have achieved things, and they've failed many, many, many times as well. You think about Michael Jordan and how awesome of a basketball player he was. Well, he also lost a lot of games too. You think about failure. The reason why people are so scared to try something new is just because of failure. And that prevents a lot of people from succeeding at anything. And I think about students. There's a problem with A students versus C students. Now, the problem with A students, and the world has been programmed to think about, hey, I have to be an A student. I have to be perfect. Well, the problem is when you get in the real world, that perfection hinders a lot of people from taking action. I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm an A student. I have to have that 4.0 GPA. And if I get, a B plus on a test, it's going to rock my world. And so when it comes to taking a new class, or maybe something that could stretch us a little bit, I don't know if I want to take that. That may be a little too hard. When they get into the real world, they're thinking, well, I'd love to open up a business, but what if I fail? What if I fail? Who cares? Everybody fails. Everybody. There's no one batting 1,000. There's no one that's living a perfect life. There's no such thing as a perfect family. That perfection is just a dream. It's an oasis. But the way that we get ahead is by trying something new. And yes, we're going to fail. We always fail. But what separates the successful from the unsuccessful is just that ability to get up and take action. Yes, we're going to fail. Yes, there's going to be people that will mock us. Yes, there will be people that will have their opinions about us, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that we get up, we move forward, acknowledge that we're going to fail, but it's in our failures is where we learn. When the good times and there's easy times, we don't learn during those times. It's in our failures that we learn. That's really the only time we really fail is when we don't learn from those failures. That's really it. So that's it, my friends, in Full Potential Friday this week. I want to challenge you guys. I wanted to challenge you to try something new. As we're home and we're self-distancing and all that stuff, if there's something that you've always wanted to do, there's that business that you've always wanted to create, there's that blog content you always wanted to make, you always want to start a podcast, but you're afraid to do it because of other people's opinions, who cares? Start preparing now. You may not be able to start the business until the self-distancing is over, but this is the time to sharpen the saw. This is the time to get ready. I love what Abraham Lincoln said. He said, you give me 6 hours to chop a tree, I'm going to spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. Well, this is the time right now to sharpen the axe. Whatever you've wanted to do, whatever you wanted to achieve, whatever you want to make, this is the time to start sharpening the saw, preparing for the next chapter of our lives. So that's it, my friends. That's my challenge to you guys. This is Del Denny signing off. Remember, learn, lead, and live to your full potential.